like I said before, I don't know of any martial arts out there anywhere that can take out a boxer's defense probably in about 2/100ths of a second. That's what Wing Chun does. And that's the thing that amazes me, is the fact that people don't realize, even the people who take martial arts, and I'll argue this point with any master that wants to talk to me. We were taught wrong. We were taught structure and form. You get this way, or this way, or this way when you're doing your workout. That's the worst thing you can do, because once you stylize a form, you don't have any more freedom. Your freedom of choice is even gone. You'll say, okay, out of my collection of things that I've learned to do, what do I do now? This guy's trying to kick me and I got my arms sticking out here. See, you don't have any freedom in that. You should have the freedom to move back, move forward, do whatever you want to do and get the job done. And people are still doing the same thing that they've been doing for the last 2,000 years. And fighting and structure and everything that people are doing now is not just even more dangerous. That's the thing that I tell people. When they go to rob you today, they rob you. They don't, it's not a, oh, it was a close call. It was a, no, they know exactly what they're doing. When they pull that knife or that gun, they're going to tell you exactly what you're going to do and how you're going to do it. If you don't, I'm going to shoot you or I'm going to kill you. Because I don't care, because of our day and our structure. Years ago, back in the 1950s, even 40s, you may have a little scuffle and you may get out in the street and say, let's settle this, man on man, and we punch each other in the face and then they go have a beer together. You know, it don't work that way anymore. They don't have a reason, they don't have anything. So the people who think that they're okay because they go to church and they know everybody in town and this and that, that's the victims. And that's what drives me crazy, that people can't understand. Do you think they're going after the tough guy in the bar and say, I'm going to rob you? No, they're going after the lady that's out here doing grocery shopping. And she better know something. Now, you tell me you love your daughters, and you bring them up from the time they're children, you watch who they run with, what you do. I mean, this is hard as nails, and I realize what I'm telling you is hard as nails, but it's a fact. You bring them up, you finally get them up to college, they work their tails off to get to college, to please you, and they help, and you've helped them, and you're giving them a new car. It's like my daughter's on to her whole new life. She decides to go jogging around the college campus to see what's happening. 3 guys just have nothing else to do. Grab her, throw her in the bushes. And now she's having some guy's kid, doesn't know who the heck it is, and she's messed up. She doesn't know if she wants to date or not. She doesn't know if she wants to have anything to do with men. Whose fault is it? The girl's? No, she did exactly what she's supposed to do. It was the parents' fault. If you're going to give your kids a chance in this world, you better get them self-defense. I don't care if it's 6 weeks worth, 8 weeks worth. You tell her before she goes to college, you're welcome to go to college, and I will send you to college, but you're taking 3 months of self-defense, hard defense, so that I don't have to worry about you. And that's what my goal is. Karate has been around forever, so it's the oldest, it's the most advertised, and Taekwondo is the biggest. There's 180 million people doing Taekwondo, but it's a sport. It does teach combat skills, but 9/10 of it is show. And I'm sure I'm going to have a lot of people come back on me on it. I've had some people knocking on my door. But the point is the fact it's a fact. It gives them something to put their energy into. It shows how hard they can hit. And some of the people out there are getting into the MMA, and this type of stuff. But I'm telling you, it's like wrestling. It's not exactly what you think it is. I've watched it with a really close eye. It's just brutal fighting. Karate has some finesse to it, but again, it's pretty rough too. Now, people who are heavy set, the best thing for them is because they can't do the high kicks, they get into judo and jiu-jitsu. They can grab you and they can throw you and they can flip you. And it's called the gentle art. But believe me, when you're on the other end of it, it's not as gentle as you think it is. When you hit that floor, about 150, 80 pounds hit that floor, it's kind of rough. But again, it can take you down in a street situation. You can take them down. But what you have to remember is the guy is fighting with you is going to try to take out your legs and take you to the ground. So now you've got to have some ground cover. You've got to be able to get up. If you're not trained, like in Chun, like we train, you're not going to be able to get up fast enough. And if he's got a buddy, you've had it. They'll beat you to death on the ground and laugh about it. So what else is there? You know, you look at all these moves and all these things, and there's so many beautiful arts out there. I mean, they're beautiful, but let's get real. Okay, Hapkido is good. It's an extension of karate. It's a Kido, actually, with kicks added to it. I have a black belt in that. It's very effective. It does a very good job if you're in the realm of like karate or any of those other things. But on the street, they come after you with some of the weirdest attacks, arms swinging. It just drives you crazy because they're just swinging every which way and everything else. And there's a lot of karate moves, and judo wouldn't know what the heck to do with that. I mean, it would just say, run. Because I have to get in on you, and I can't with you flailing your arms like that. So, again, it's what I call the hard arts. It's very hard. What I love about Wing Chun is the fact that when you go in and you put your hands out there, you touch the individual. Bruce Lee said years ago, to know a man, you have to touch him. And I didn't really know until I started training in this what that meant. But it is everything. You have to reach out and touch this person to know what they're going to do. But my students can tell you if they're going to kick, they're going to punch, they're going to headbutt you. It really doesn't matter because we learn to feel. We're the only art in the world that closes our eyes during combat because we feel it better than we can see it. They can make ugly faces at you and throw you off. But if it bothers you, you just close your eyes and go ahead and do what you have to do. But Wing Chun is based on changing energy. We do not fight. That's what sets us apart. That's what makes us very elite. That's why I gave up the other hard arts, because this is very elite. Not everybody that has been in martial arts understands it because they can't see being gentle. But what you do is these gentle moves, like a boxer will put his guard up like this, and we'll just go right, very gently, just right through his guard, hit him, and walk back out again, and he doesn't understand. How in the world did you get through my guard? And we do it over and over and over. And it just drives them crazy because there is no energy flowing from us. They don't know how to react. They only know battle against battle. Again, once you go into grabbing people and you've got a small stature, you have an advantage because you have a low gravity stance. And gravity stance is what causes you to be able to drop these people so quickly. But the problem is, if they get hold of you and lift you off your feet, you've had it. They'll just pick you up like a big bag of potatoes and throw you on the ground. Wing Chun doesn't allow that because we're never where they think we're going to be. If they reach like this, we're over here hitting them in the side of the head. If they turn that way, then we're back over here doing something else. We have what's called the secret warrior. The secret warrior works for short people because they can come under the limbs, under the arms, and you never know they're there. Like one we have is a snake. You come under the arm, the guy can't see it because his arm's out here, your arm's under here. And you come up underneath the arm, and as soon as you do, then you come over the top, take down his guard and strike him. Well, he doesn't even know where that came from. And that's what the body mechanics, the structure, and the form of Wing Chun is right. In other words, if they try to turn around and push you, it's not going to happen. If they try to grab you, it's not going to happen. And that's why I recommend to everybody, you need to at least try Wing Chun. Even if you're in another martial art, you need to try Wing Chun, because between the two styles, you can pretty much handle yourself. But just because you tell me that you're Taekwondo or you're Judo or this, whatever, that doesn't really tell me anything. For the simple fact, if you try to make those moves, I'll take you out so fast and make you hit swim. Because we're not doing what you're doing. See, that's the number one thing about Wing Chun. We're not doing what you expect us to do. Because you say, well, I learned, like if you have two Taekwondo people come up to each other and they're going to battle, they know each other's moves. Well, that's fine and dandy, but you come up to the guy on the street who's just a brawler, he may bite your arm. He may, you don't know what he's going to do. Get you down and bite your cheek. You don't have a clue. So you can't allow that. And Wing Chun allows you to get around all these defenses. All these attacks through our defense. We're the only, now make note of this, we're the only martial art in the world that defends and attacks at the same time. In any other art, you're on the offense or you're on the defense. So when we attack and defend at the same time, they don't have a clue what to do. Because the same time they're being blocked, we're attacking. And when they're attacking, we're blocking these things, they really don't have a clue what they're going up against. Well, what we do is we take that in consideration because there's a truth to that. There's a few things you can do with Wing Chun, but when they have you grappling and locked in, it really messes up your Wing Chun. It's not as easy as you think to get out of. So we have an art called Chun that we practice. It's a very old art, but very effective. We don't hold on to them. If we're on the ground, we hurt them enough that they're going, okay. Then we jump up. And then we're back in our Wing Chun where we're comfortable. But most of the time, the reason that Wing Chun doesn't have groundwork is because very seldom do we go to the ground. Very seldom can they even get you to the ground because there's so many maneuvers that you use that when they attack your legs or they're trying to take you down, there's things in Wing Chun that you do in a standing position that you can't do in any other art. If anybody wants to get hold of me and wants to know more about this, I'm at 1534 South Governors Avenue here in Dover. If you know where Ollie's is, we're right up the street from that, right across from the Artisans Bank. If you can't find it, just give me a call. It's 302-387-7585. And we'd be glad to set up a time to be able to show you what it's about. Our prices are really reasonable compared to those around us. They're really quite high. I think they're charging prices you would in New York or New Jersey. And they don't realize that people, they can't put out that kind of money in this day and age. So I try to keep the prices low because I'll tell you why. It's not the money end of it that I'm into this. I have other businesses. The reason that I'm in it is I want you to be protected. And that's the reason that I do what I do. We take the money that comes in and keeps the dojo open, everything operational and everything like that. If we need new equipment, we can get it, that kind of thing. My name is Master Lee, and it's been great talking with you, and stay safe.